So this is a follow-up, part two, I guess, of the first business I ever owned. It was a lawn service. I mowed yards around our little neighborhood. This is when we still lived in Texas. We had a bunch of neighbors before we moved to Arkansas. I was probably, I don't know, 11, 12, 13. Took out a loan from my dad and uncle from their little business. Well, I say little business. They were very successful contractors in construction. Anyway, I took out a loan to buy a used riding lawnmower, put a new motor on it. Long story short, I went around mowing, started making some money. I gave you a couple lessons I learned from that in the previous video. I highly recommend you go watch that if you want to be successful in your own business. There's some valuable lessons there. I know it's long and I ramble, but you know what? If you want the information, sometimes you got to dig through the dirt, right? Anyway, so I've saved up my money. I owe Daddy and Uncle Bill probably $800, I think. And I had almost that much saved up, but I wasn't going to make a full repayment on my loan. I was going to pay them what I thought was a great partial payment of $400, and then I was going to take, I don't know, it's $300 or $400 and buy me a 10-speed bike. So I tell Daddy what I'm going to do, and he goes, "Nope, that ain't the way you do business. You pay your bills first." He made me take $600 of that money. The other $200 I had to keep for operating expenses. You know, if something broke down or to buy gas. Or he wouldn't let me buy my 10-speed bike. He said, "You're going to take that $600 and you go across the street and you pay your Uncle Bill back." Well, didn't have no choice. Had to do what Daddy said. I remember walking across the street. I don't remember a lot from my childhood. I'm just bits and pieces. But man, I remember this. I was pouting. I'm pretty good at pouting. I'm a pouter. I knocked on Uncle Bill's door, and I'm sure I had a big old long face. And I said, "Uncle Bill, Daddy said I had to pay you this money." Now, Uncle Bill knew I wanted a 10-speed bike. He'd talked to me about it. He'd helped me pick out what I wanted. He was okay with me making a partial payment and having a little bit of fun with my money. He said, "Well, what happened to the bike?" I said, "Daddy said I can't buy it yet. I got to pay my bills first. Here's my money. I'll have the rest in a month." Turned around, walked off. Now, the rest of the story I didn't know. The rest of the story was relayed to me years later, but my Uncle Bill, the next morning they're riding to the job site together. They were partners. They worked together for 30 years. Never had a cross word that I knew of. That's pretty rare, especially for brother-in-laws. Anyway, Uncle Bill turned to Daddy. He said, "Burl," that was my dad's name, Burl. He said, "Burl, we'll help that boy any way we can. We'll loan him money whenever he needs it. But don't you ever make him come back over and pay me again." Well, to end the story, I did end up paying them off, I think, in the next month or two. I paid the other $200, and then I paid my interest. It was 50, 60 bucks, I think, is what I ended up paying them in interest. But from that point on, other than my gas and oil, some weed eater string, it was all profit. Get debt free. That's the lesson. And don't make your kid go to their uncle and make him feel bad. I guess that's lesson number 2. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one.